Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you Ridgecrest Planning Commission news that the IRS doesn't warn citizens when illegal aliens steal their Social Security numbers, Kern River warnings, fire warning policy changes, details of a Memorial Day ceremony this weekend, current election poll news, Caltrans information, today's gas prices, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News Crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Now, are you ready for the news from Washington? We get this story from a regular KZGN-TV viewer, Harry. Yesterday, IRS Chief John Koskinen informed Congress during a hearing that the IRS does not inform citizens when illegal aliens steal their Social Security numbers. This drew a huge outrage from Congress members. Some members of the committee sat stunned by the announcement. This came out when he was being questioned by Senator Coates from Indiana. Coates said he discovered this situation while reviewing the IRS procedures. Koskinen acknowledged the procedure. He went on to say, "These are undocumented aliens," refusing to use the words illegal aliens. This is the White House's dictate. They're ignoring the fact that there are people in the country illegally. Koskinen went on saying, the priority for the taxpayer is for us to collect taxes, and the IRS is collecting those taxes from illegals. He continued with this, what happens in these situations is someone is using a Social Security number to get a job. He excused his behavior by saying that the illegals are filing and paying their taxes. The IRS head also mentioned that they don't inform Americans when their Social Security numbers are used by criminals either. All this came to light during a Senate Finance Committee meeting. The IRS head insisted there was a difference of bad use and non-bad use of stolen numbers. One can steal it to get a job, and then there's the one that steals it to commit fraud. Koskinen went on to say a lot of times friends and relatives borrow their other friends and relatives' numbers to get jobs. The IRS chief sees this as a way illegals pay taxes. Members of Congress are now considering impeaching the IRS head, impeaching him for not enforcing the law. This is clear violations of IRS law, and he is doing nothing to enforce it. It is more important to collect taxes than enforcing the law. Of course, Koskinen also said they issue refunds to those illegals as well. So even though they steal a number to get a job illegally, then pay some taxes in, they may also fall into a low-income category where they get refunds and even earned income credit rebates, all funded by people here legally that pay their taxes. There will be more on this in the future. Tuesday evening, the Ridgecrest Planning Commission held their regular meeting. During the meeting, they got an update from staff and a developer trying to remodel the currently closed gas station at the Triangle by the entrance to the base. They're proposing to remodel the building into a sort of food place, as well as a gas station. The developer was asking for some relief from some city requirements for infrastructure changes. There was a request for relief of water storage and a concession on the requirements for ADA compliance. The issue being that at the point of the property where Triangle Drive meets China Boulevard, there is not the required room to install dictated ADA ramps for wheelchairs. Without serious changes to the intersection, there's a real problem. The developer is willing to make the necessary changes to accommodate wheelchairs, but the way he has to do it doesn't make sense. The Commission agreed that there is a problem and ordered staff to work more with the developer and Caltrans to see what we can do to reduce the impact on the developer. Next, the Commission got an update from the city contractor that is submitting an application for a grant to make certain areas more bike and pedestrian friendly. The main areas for this application was for South Down Street between Ridgecrest Boulevard and Upjohn, in a large 4-block area between South Norma and South China Lake Boulevard. The Down Street project will fund sidewalk and bike lane improvements for this stretch of road. There was considerable discussion about a crosswalk near the school there. The design calls for bulb outs into the bike lane for the crosswalk. And there was concern voiced about the bulb out, as many in the community see the ones done on Ridgecrest Boulevard as not very good. The contractor insists the design is the safest design for a road that is a 4-lane highway. The Commission approved the overall project, but said that they need more info on the crosswalk design. The contractor agreed to provide that information. And in closing the meeting, the chairman of the commission, Matthew Baldwin, announced his resignation from the commission. He has signed up to get his master's degree and will not have the time to devote to the commission. So the City Council will have to appoint a replacement to the commission soon. As we get ready for summer in the Kern River Valley and the Sierra Mountains, we get these news reports from that area. First, on Friday, May 27th at 10 a.m., the Kern County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue Team will be updating the sign at the mouth of the Kern River Canyon. This is to reflect the current number of lives lost in the Kern River since 1968. The sign is updated each year during the month of May to include the number of lives lost in the Kern River during the previous 12 months. This year, the sign will be updated from 271 lives lost to 275 lives lost. They want to remind everyone that the Kern River is a strong river. It has some of the highest flows during early summer months during the snowmelt runoff. People come from all over the country to ride the rapids there. I've even done it myself. They want to remind everyone to respect this river. Always wear life vests. Even in areas that appear to be calm, slow-moving pools, there can be strong undercurrents. Never swim alone, and wear life vests when trying to ride the river. It can be a very fun river, but it can also be very deadly if you're not prepared. Search and rescue personnel will be available to answer questions regarding river safety. The public and media are welcome to attend. In another High Sierra news, we get this notice from Tyler Thompson, Public Information Officer from the Kern County Fire Department. They're announcing new Kern County fire restrictions. They will be increasing the level of fire restrictions beginning on Saturday, May 28th. 5 years of drought coupled with widespread tree mortality throughout Kern County have firefighters at the ready. Upcoming summer temperatures and low fuel moistures have prompted fire officials to increase fire restrictions. Kern County Fire Department officials will keep these restrictions in effect until further notice. Beginning Saturday, that's this Saturday, May 28th, campfires will not be allowed in any county park in the mountainous areas. The parks are Greenhorn Mountain Park, Tehachapi Mountain Park, and Fraser Mountain Park. Stoves and lanterns with shutoff valves that use gas, jellied petroleum, or pressurized liquid fuel are the only fuels that will be allowed. And they'll only be allowed in authorized campsites provided that the operator possesses a valid campfire permit. Permits can be issued by the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, National Park Service, and the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, or you can get them online at preventwildfireca.org/permits. When using a stove, remember to clear all flammable material, at least 5 feet in all directions from the stove. Have a shovel available, and ensure that a responsible person attends the stove at all times when in use. Operating an internal combustion engine outside properly designated roads or trails, welding, and using explosives will all be strictly prohibited during these increased restrictions as well. If riding a motorized vehicle on trails, ensure your engine is tuned, operating properly, and has the approved spark arrestor. Smoking will only be allowed in enclosed vehicles and within authorized recreation sites. These restrictions will remain in place until the end of the fire season, normally in late autumn. Anyone causing a wildfire could be liable for all costs associated with suppressing the fire. Visitors to Kern County parks and adjacent Bureau of Land Management and Forest Service lands need to carefully follow each agency's current fire restrictions. For more information, you can call Tyler Thompson, Public Information Officer, at 661-330-0133. Do your share. Use our parks and mountains carefully. If you spot a fire, call 911. One less spark, one less wildfire. Now stay with us. We'll have more news from the forests when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. In other news from the Sierra, the Forest Service is saying almost all roads and campgrounds are open for the season starting this weekend. Areas are ready for hikers, mountain bikers, horses, and off-roaders. Again, they too are reminding everyone about getting fire permits. Forest Service personnel recommend to assess campsites closely for dead trees and dead vegetation. Watch for hazards before setting up camps. If you find hazardous conditions in the backcountry, let Park Service personnel know. They'll go out and take care of the hazard. In good news, Lake Isabel water level has risen 20 feet this year from mountain runoff. There is also a new glass ban around Lake Isabel. Glass food and beverage containers are not permitted along lakeshore lines, campgrounds, or other adjoining areas. To conserve water, most campgrounds will be turning off most common use showers. Everyone is recommended to call ahead and make reservations where able, especially on holiday weekends. Officials want everyone to come out and enjoy the great outdoors, but enjoy it carefully, doing everything we can to not start fires and conserve water. Well, on the campaign trail, things are heating up some more. Clinton has dispatched her supporters to be the attack dogs on Trump. Senator Warren has attacked Trump for taking advantage of the housing bubble and making money off foreclosed homes. Trump has responded in that he's a businessman and business people invest in real estate. That's what we do. Warren has built a national profile on progressive issues that have been at the heart of the party's primary between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. She has particular resonance with Democrats on rhetoric and policy that is distinct from both presidential candidates. Some pundits are saying she could be a Clinton pick for VP. Also on yesterday night, there was an unruly protest outside a Trump event in New Mexico. An estimated crowd of about 500 young, very organized protesters were causing quite a disturbance. There are accusations that maybe even Clinton or Sanders support groups are actually funding these protests. They are showing up with professionally made signs and waving Mexican flags. When asked where the signs are coming from, no one seems willing to say. However, Democrats are even more concerned about what might happen at their convention in Philadelphia. They fear heavy unrest set off by Sanders supporters at the convention. So, the campaign only begins. In news from Caltrans, we get this story of road repairs on Route 395. The location of the work is on U.S. Highway 395 in Kern County. The work goes from the Kern County-San Bernardino County line to the junction of State Route 178. This project will resurface the roadbed with rubberized hot mix asphalt. Drivers should anticipate daily lane closures along this stretch of Kern County U.S. Highway 395 Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. Delays could be up to 20 minutes. This project is scheduled to be completed by September. The contractor for this $5 million project is Granite Construction. For the latest in highway information, please visit Caltrans Quick Map site or call our road condition hotline at 1-800-427-ROAD. Caltrans wants to remind everyone of the new law that is intended to protect road workers. For the safety of workers and other motorists, please be work zone alert and move over when possible. Again, this repair is on Route 395 south to Johannesburg, and it has already started. The American Legion will host a Memorial Day ceremony this weekend. It will be held on Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th. All the fallen service members will be remembered. Everyone in the community is invited to join this remembrance of those that fell, so we can enjoy this grand nation. It will be held at the Desert Memorial Park. The park is located out on County Line Road, also known as 801 South San Bernardino Road. The ceremony will start at 10 a.m. The guest speaker will be from China Lake. The NOS China Lake Color Guard will present the colors. Following the ceremony, there will be a free luncheon held at the American Legion post at 641 West Inyokern Road. Another fun event will take place Friday, May 27th at the USO building. Friday night will be open mic night at the USO. Party hardy and enjoy some red-hot music at the Historical Society of the Upper Mojave Desert's popular open mic night. It'll be at the historic USO building, 230 West Ridgecrest Boulevard. The Valley's favorite indoor block party pops open every non-flex Friday. The famous snack bar serves up popular quarter-pound jumbo Crumville hot dog plates, fresh hot popcorn, and lots of other incredible edibles. Plus plenty of thirst-quenching libations. Proper ID is required. All for insanely low prices. Performances begin at 7 p.m. and admission is only $2 per person. Now in KZGN continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's gas prices for Ridgecrest and some surrounding areas. Well, since my last report, local prices went up 4 cents per gallon. The good news is we still have the lowest prices in all the areas we are monitoring. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $2.47 to $2.89. Lancaster from $2.65 to $2.99. The LA Valley area $2.55 to $2.79. And the Bishop area $2.74 to $2.99. We have 3 stations at $2.47 per gallon. So if you're traveling this weekend, It will definitely pay off to fill up here before you leave Ridgecrest. Tune in Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you're helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have weather and sports. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, severe thunderstorms will be possible over portions of the plains each afternoon and evening this week. The main threats with these storms are expected to be large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes. Locally, heavy rainfall could pose a risk for some flooding concerns, particularly over portions of the Great Plains and Mississippi Valley. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas is 77, Georgia at 84, Arkansas at 79, Northern Texas at 89, Arizona at 82, and Los Angeles at 63. And for us locally, tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 56, west wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Thursday, sunny with a high near 85, southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 58, south wind 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny with a high near 90, south-southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 59, west-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny with a high near 89, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 58, west-southwest wind 5 miles per hour. And Sunday, sunny with a high near 89, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
Thanks, Lane. And now here's sports.
A very pleasant early Wednesday evening to everyone. Let's talk about the NBA. Oklahoma City doing the unthinkable. They're ready to hand Golden State their early playoff exit. Golden State, the team I thought would win the whole thing. It's not over yet, but right now the 3-1 lead sure does look good for OKC. Yesterday, 118-94, the victory in Oklahoma City. Stephon Curry only 19 points. It's all he could muster. Russell Westbrook 36, Kevin Durant 29. Those two guys continue to play great basketball. They are passing the ball well. They're rebounding. They're defending. Boy, they look as good as they have all season. I think Billy Donovan's team has peaked when they've needed to. All right, let's take a look at the East. The Raptors and Cavaliers, 2-2 in that series. Game number 5 going on in just about a half an hour. You can tune over to TNT and catch that one. Game 5 could be more interesting than I thought it would be. Cleveland hard to beat at home, but Toronto just resilient right now. They're just hanging around, so we'll see what happens. Could end up being a Cleveland versus OKC series, but don't count Toronto out quite yet. NHL, some interesting things happening. Over in the Western Finals, game number 5 tonight in San Jose. The Blues and Sharks tied at 2 games apiece. And tomorrow night, it'll be the Lightning and the Penguins. The Lightning 1 game away from winning the Eastern Division. Hockey gets exciting during the Stanley Cup playoffs, even for guys like myself that really aren't hardcore hockey fans. The playoffs become very, very fun and interesting to follow. All right, Major League Baseball, the Dodgers 3 in a row now. They beat the poor Reds 8-2 last night in L.A. The Dodgers back at 500. They still trail San Francisco, though, by 4.5 games. The Giants also got a win. They beat the Padres yesterday. The Angels lose in Texas. That series 1 game apiece now. Game number 3, the rubber game today in Arlington. Martin Perez got the win for the Rangers. Julius Chacun, the loss for the Angels. They just picked him up from Colorado. All right, Houston gets a win over Baltimore. They end their 5-game losing streak. Baltimore gets a win over Colorado, or rather Boston, I should say. Boston been scoring runs like crazy lately. Kansas City beats Minnesota again. The Twins, the poor Twins, the worst record in all of Major League Baseball. Paul Molitor, his ball club really struggling. Cleveland also gets a win. They beat the White Sox. The White Sox still in first place, but they have not played very good the last few weeks. Yankees, Detroit. The Pirates, Rays, and Cubs also get wins. Cubs the best record in all of Major League Baseball. Checking the standings real quick in the East, Boston 28-17, Baltimore 26-17. Out in the Central, the White Sox still 7 games over 500, but their lead has been cut into. And out west, Seattle, Texas, and the Angels. Seattle 27-18, Texas 26-20, and the Angels 21-25. In the National League East, the Nationals under Dusty Baker, 28-18. In the Central, as mentioned, the Cubs 30-14. And out west, the Giants 29-19. They're playing better after being on an 8-game losing streak. They have a 4.5 game, as mentioned, over the Dodgers. That's your sports for this Wednesday. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. Also, KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk coming up next. And remember, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Remember those that died for us and enjoy this great nation.